Hi everyone, I am Dr. Ravichander Janapati, Professor, School of Computer Science and Artificial Intelligence, SR University, Warangal. Welcome to the course Foundations to Cognitive Science. Today's topic is History of Cognitive Science and its Evaluation. Here, understanding of human mind and intelligence is nothing but the evaluation of cognitive science. Cognitive science is the study of how humans think, learn, remember, and solve problems. And also, it tries to understand how human mind works. So, cognitive science means it is the study of how humans think, learn, remember, and solve problems. That is the cognitive science. Here, coming to evaluation of cognitive science and history, when it is started and what happened in that particular time. In 1978, DeepMind team proposed the mental theory. That is a cognitive science. It is modern cognitive science. Now in 1980, Japanese science and technology circles put forward Kansei engineering. In 1985, Professor Minsky put forward the theory of mental theory. In the year 2000, Professor Wang he discovered the concept of artificial psychology. He put forward the word or concept of artificial psychology. Again, in 2017, the DeepMind team found that neural networks also has the shape preference. In 2018, again, the DeepMind team opened up the laboratory PsychLab. Now, in 2020, nearby, cognitive psychology is integrated. This term, cognitive psychology, is integrated into the engineering field that explain artificial intelligence, nothing but XAI. So in the year of 2020, this cognitive science integrated into the field of artificial intelligence. Now, coming to the history, in olden days, long back ago in 1950s, philosophers here like Aristotle and Descartes focus on mind knowledge, reasoning. So before they are the philosophers, they don't believe the things blindly, and everything they need argument, as well as they believe in science and they believe in the logic. So here they focus on philosophy, mind, knowledge, and reasoning. For that, they used introspection methods. They used introspection methods. Now, coming to Palau experiment, here we have a dog, for example. We have a dog. So when we keep food in front of the dog, there is a unconditional response, like saliva will get from the dog. So this is the dog response. Just observe, this is the dog response. Once we keep food in front of the dog, this is the food we keep in front of the dog. Unconditional response, this is behavioral response. Unconditionally. So there will be a stimulus in dog mind, and it is waiting for the food. Now, in the second scenario, let us take the second scenario. So here there is a neutral stimulus. There is a bell, but there is no, we are not ring, just this bell is ringing, but there is no food. There is no response from the dog. There is no conditioned response from the dog. Here, in the second case, let us observe. Here, bell is ringing, but there is no saliva from the dog, as well as there is no response from the dog. In the third case, we are ringing the bell, as well as we will keep the food. Here, we will keep the food also. We will keep the food also in front of the dog. Here, this bell as well as food. Bell as well as food in front of the dog. Then what will happen? There is a saliva. Now, in fourth case, we discard the food. Just only we are ringing the bell. Then unconditionally, there is a response from the dog. It is thinking that there is a food, there is a time for food, and the saliva comes from the dog, and it is waiting for the food. So what we learn from this dog is trained to bell sound. Bell sound means there is a food. Finally, the dog is trained to, if any bell ringing is there, bell ring is there, then there is a time for food. So this is called as behavioral response as well as associated response. So the dog mind is trained. So this is called as Pavlov experiment. Here behaviorism era. It focuses on observable behavior. It ignored mental process. Follow Watson, Skinner. These are the scientists. They worked on behavioral psychology. They're not defined about mental process as well as thinking process. Based on the behavioral, they are going to define the psychology. So this is in the era of 1900 to 1950. Now coming to cognitive revolution. Cognitive revolution means it's the modern cognitive science beginning. In olden cognitive science, which purely depends only on psychology, not on technology. So in the now, after 1950s, it is integrated with technology. So there will be a shift from behavior to mental process. This era is known as cognitive revolution era. From this time, they are starting study about memory, attention, thinking, problem solving. This change is called the cognitive revolution. Now, coming to the development of cognitive science. What are the things included in the cognitive science? Is integration of psychology, neuroscience, AI. Nowadays, cognitive science is not only the one subject. It is interdisciplinary and multidisciplinary subject. It is the integration of psychology, neuroscience, and AI. It provides interdisciplinary field information as well as growth of research and applications. In simple words, the brain was compared to the computer that process information. So it is compared to a computer which process information. Now cognitive science. Here, if you observe this picture, Cognitive science is not only one single subject. It is the integration of different fields like psychology, philosophy, linguistics, anthropology, neuroscience, and artificial intelligence. Cognitive science is the integration of multiple subjects like philosophy, linguistics, anthropology, neuroscience, artificial intelligence, engineering, and psychology. If we combine this, that is cognitive science. In this cognitive science, thinking and mental process plays a vital role. Cognitive science and its components. Cognitive science and its components. And here, cognitive science is a one subject. Under this cognitive science, under this branch, we have psychology, linguistics, computer science, philosophy, neuroscience, and other fields. Now, under psychology, again, we have another sub-branches like psychometrics, experimental psychology, psycholinguistics. This psycholinguistics, it comes under psychology as well as linguistics. So it is belongs to both. Psycholinguistics. Linguistics means it is related to language speaking or communication. So psycholinguistics, it is the integration of psychology as well as language as well as under linguistics, another branch is computational linguistics. So this computational linguistics, it is again related with the computer science as well as language. It combines language as well as computer science. Now, in computer science, computational linguistics, as well as another main important area is artificial intelligence. We already know that this is the era of artificial intelligence, where mimics the human brain. Technology models mimics the human brain. Now, coming to philosophy, it is epistemology, logic philosophy. Next, another one is neuroscience. Under neuroscience, there are a lot of fields also there. Next, other fields, the sub-branches are anthropology as well as decision theory. So this is the cognitive science and its components. again. Applications of cognitive science. Where we will apply this cognitive science. Now, coming to the applications, the first and foremost thing is healthcare. Cognitive science, which is related with mental or brain, which can be used in healthcare. Next, finance, entertainment like Amazon, Netflix, retail, Flipkart, autonomous vehicles like self-driving cars, agriculture, drones, as well as pesticide spraying, smart homes like Alexa, customer service like chatbots, what we are using nowadays. So these things, these are the applications of cognitive science. Now, coming to modern cognitive science. Modern cognitive science. Now, in nowadays, technology is changing day by day. So we are going to integrate different fields like brain computer interfacing, as well as EEG, fMRI signals, and artificial intelligence, as well as machine learning. And another one is cognitive neuroscience. This neuroscience also integrated with the cognitive. That is modern cognitive science. Now coming to relevance to engineering. In what way this cognitive science is relevant to engineering? Here, this cognitive science depends on artificial intelligence, depends or integrated with brain computer interface, human computer interaction, robotics, and automation. Now coming to relevance to business management. Cognitive science, which can be used in business management also, like decision making, consumer behavior analysis, marketing strategies, data analytics, and AI. Coming to real world applications of cognitive science. Coming to real world applications, nowadays, if we search for one product in the Amazon or in the YouTube, if you search some videos or if you view some videos, automatically, already we know that it will automatically recommend the new videos to you, the same domain or in the same field. So in that way, cognitive science helps how the user is thinking and what he is interested, what about his attention levels. based on that, it is recommending. So in this Amazon and Netflix, this artificial intelligence techniques combined with cognitive science, which provides recommendation to the users, as well as smart assistants like Alexa, and coming to, as well as we are going to design some products based on the cognitive skills. Now coming to this topic, cognitive science evolved from psychology to modern AI and neuroscience, impacting engineering and business. Impacting engineering and business. So this is regarding cognitive science evaluation and its history from philosophy to modern AI and neuroscience, how it is evolved. We have discussed. Now, once again, I'll review the topics, what we have discussed, covered in this. First, we have discussed what is cognitive science. Cognitive science is the study of how humans think, learn, remember, and solve problems. That is cognitive science. And coming to the history of cognitive science, how it is evolved from 1978 to 2020, that we have discussed. And we have discussed early foundations by Aristotle and Descartes. And we also discuss follow experiment with the example of dog and food. How the dog behavior will be trained. And we have discussed behaviorism era and cognitive revolution in 1950s. This cognitive revolution taking place where thinking process, memory, attention, problem solving skills are integrated into the psychology. So that is the starting point of cognitive revolution. Now, applications are different fields of cognitive science. Cognitive science, it is the interconnection of different subjects like psychology, linguistics, anthropology, neuroscience, artificial intelligence. So here, the components of cognitive science in these different components we have discussed, like psychology, linguistics, computer science, philosophy, neuroscience, and other fields. Now coming to the applications, here healthcare, finance, entertainment, retail, autonomous vehicle, agriculture, smart homes, customer service. Now, how it is evolved to modern cognitive science. So now in the modern cognitive science, here comes under brain imaging techniques are integrated. Brain imaging techniques integrated into cognitive science. Now coming to relevance to the engineering also we have discussed. Here it is relevant to artificial intelligence, brain-computer interfaces, human-computer interaction, as well as robotics and automation. So coming to business management, how cognitive science plays. So in decision-making, consumer behavior analysis, marketing strategies is also. So coming to real-world applications, recommendation system like Amazon, Netflix, how it will recommend the products to the customers. So based on their attention level, based on their cognitive levels, or based on their interests, based on their history of search, is used to recommend. Now, finally, cognitive science evolved from philosophy to modern AI and neuroscience, impacting engineering and business fields. So this is regarding the history of cognitive science as well as how it is evolved from philosophy to modern AI and neuroscience and how it is impacting engineering and business. Thank you.